Hello and welcome to ATM 10, all the mods 10 to the sky. Today we're going to be doing a few things to progress us. We're going to take a look at the bees a little bit. We did get the first part of that kind of going, so we'll take a look at that, and then we're going to look at, which one was it here? It's actually, I don't know where it's at in here, but it is right here. So we're going to try to make the vibranium ingot, which requires the ender crafting. So we're going to go down to this. We should have all these shards at this point. We just need to make this crystalline ingot here. So we got a little work to do there, but let's go take a look at the bee. Last episode we kind of showed this. I put the beehive down. I made a advanced beehive in the interim of in between episodes, and I set up this campfire here. Right, this is like full of honey. So if I go like this, I can then oh, they ate my shears, didn't they? Do I have another pair? Yes, I do. Flint shears, shwink, and then there we go. And we can just cover that up. And so it goes. But then this one is an advanced beehive. It doesn't require any of that nonsense. And you can just take the honey out directly. So that's it, just it's a slightly better thing there. Now we're going to take these bottles. Now I don't have this automated anyway, so I'm just going to put this there so it'll generate bottles of honey while we're doing stuff. But that's it's going to let that go for a little bit longer. Now the way this actually seems to work is that we need to like make this bee cages, and like we can go ahead and do some of these real quick. It's like bee cage. I already have 3 of them made, so we make another one, which just takes some wood. Right, very basic recipe. There we go. And then we already got credit for the advanced beehive and the beehive because we already made those like that. Now there's different add-ons you can add to the beehive. You can like this, make this expansion box. Where's the oak one here? Of course it's like all these exotic ones when I just like I only care about oak, right? Yeah, let me see if I can just type that one in. So it'd be like oak expansion box. There we go. And that looks pretty easy to make. So let's go ahead and go right here. And then boom, we have our oak expansion box. We throw that honey back in there. I will keep that sturdy bee cage. Now this will allow us to get it's a larger box, right? So now it's a expanded beehive. It can hold what is that, 5 bees at a time, plus some upgrades and all kinds of nice little goodies there. So eventually what I'll do is like I'll set these things up in some kind of little, you know, mass factory kind of way to like start absorbing everything from these things, but not a huge deal at the moment. Let's save that. Oh, we had another one already from I guess West Reward, so that's nice. Throw that in there. Now we're getting to the point where we're gonna have enough honey to make the honey seed, which might be useful for us, but we'll see. So we have that, got some more honey there, and then you can start picking all these different ways. And so we're gonna get into this pretty deep pretty soon. Like we're gonna have to make all these different nests and all these upgrades. It's gonna be very tedious and whatnot. So we'll get into that soon. But I wanted to try to make this ingot today. Keep forgetting it's in here. Let me go down here and show this real quick. So I changed up a little bit of what we were working on last time. So we're working on this mechanism, and I got all these machines here. Now I have different machines for different ones now. I have gold, tin, and iron, and they're all processing through these ultimate enrichers here. I think 3 different ores is the maximum there. But one thing I do have here is the oxygen, right? I was having issues with generating enough oxygen to purify all this stuff, right? So what I ended up doing is just building out, what is that, 6 of them? 6 of these things. and that produces enough to keep this a 8,000 bucket, 8,000, 8 million, whatever this ends up being when it converts it right into it's pretty much perma full. So it's pretty nice. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go with the full processing for every single one of these different ore things, but it seems like there's so many different ways to make things that whole method is not really useful. And then over here, I do have I increased my requesters from 1,000 to 2,000 of these, so I can just make a lot of stuff. And then I have the 3 ores that I do have set up at 100,000 with a 1024 batch size. Now you can kind of see this right here. It just constantly batching those until it gets to 100,000 ores, right? And then these iron and all that stuff should eventually clean up some of the stuff in the system. Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, I've where's my teleporter? Like, I have set up drives upon drives, and these are all like 256k drives. Here, let's turn on hover. These are like 256 drives, right? So they're huge drives, and they're just, some of them are absolutely full and stuff like that. And I'm just doing as much as I possibly can to take care of them. But all right, let's start on this crafter, because we're gonna have to make some recipes here. So let's start looking at this. All right, so I did switch all my machines to enriched materials too, so that's a thing that we'll have to deal with at some point. Now, this first machine, we're gonna automate everything here, because I'm too lazy to manually craft all this. So we need, how do you make this, right? This is, oh, that's simple. An eye vendor in that. All right, that's easy. Okay, and then that should give us. What do we need? The eye vendor recipe. Let's use not that one, because we don't have that blaze. I don't think we have a blaze guy yet. A blaze essence. All right, so let's throw these in here, and we should be able to build the ender crafter now. Get that processing. Okay, that screwed up the screen. All right, looks like it's still recording. Perfect. I hate that. I hated the full screen is like F11 or whatever, F10 right there, right by the bats. It's such a terrible spot. All right, now we can make the ender crafter. All right, basic. I'm not sure 100% what's going on there, but that's that. Now we need to make this auto crafting table. This is going to be kind of where it's gets tedious, I think. So let's see here. Auto crafting table tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, tier 1. All right, so we need a recipe for that. We need a recipe for this. We need a recipe for that. What are these? Black iron ingots. Couldn't be much harder than that, could it? Now, black dye does not. There we go. We got a recipe for black dye. That's trivial. Now let's go back to, can we? I made the mistake of not, there we go. That'll make that a little easier to get to. So we need a crystalline ingot to make what? Why do I need a crystalline ingot to make tier 1? All right, here's the basic crafting table. We need this luminescence. All right, we can make that. All right, what do we got here? We got the basic crafting table. That and that. So that should, I guess, a redstone component. Do we have? Yeah, okay. Let's throw these in there and just see where we're at. Because this gets like, a lot of these crafts are just like so built upon each other, and they get kind of tedious. So it's a little bit, you gotta make sure, what mod is this, right? Extended crafting. So we should be able to make this one, right? We're missing the basic catalyst. All right, so that's what we need. Where does that come from? Right there. All right, and we can craft all the other parts of it. So what? All right, there we go. Now we should be able to make the basic crafting table. I don't think there's any like unlocks for this. There we go. We got that one. Yeah, there's no unlocks for that. So now if we click U on this, whoa, there we go. The whole thing crashed. See, this is the advanced crafting table, so let's add that to the thing. Now we need to make that, and then we need this, which we can make all of those. We need this, which we can make all of those, and those are the same. Perfect. And we can make all those. All right, now let's go ahead and do a use on this one. This one is the tier 3. Let's go ahead and do that. Now this is going to require the elite component, which is just diamonds, right? And then it's going to use this catalyst, which is just the same components again. And I think that's it. Now we're not making the auto table yet. We'll do that. I think we have to make a crystalline ingot before we can even do that. So if we go here to that and click this one, we should have everything required to make all those mini sub combines. And let's see if that works. This should take a few seconds there. All right, well that's cooking. Let's look over here. So this is going to require this, which is an elite crafter. What is this one? This is a tier 4. Can we do it? We can do it in a tier 3, so that's as far as we've gone. It might be worth it to go to the tier 4. I mean, use on that one, tier 4. All right, let's do tier 4 real quick, just in case there is something I'm totally missing that I'm gonna need. All right, so we get that, get this component. Emeralds are already in the whole entire setup here, so we don't have to worry about those. There we go. Grab those components and just find running out of spots. We're gonna have to build another thing there down there. All right, so we should be able to build a tier 4 now. So let's take a look at the vibranium again. So it looks like that will be pretty easy to make. I wonder, okay, there's an ender auto crafter. Let's add that to the favorites because we're going to want to auto craft this. I don't want to ever do this more than once. There we go. And then this thing here is going to be lapis, diamond. Okay, so lapis, diamond, gold, iron, nether star. So let's just start grabbing those. Lapis, gold, nether star. Only have 62 nether star. I don't like that. Can we make 1,000 of those? Yes, we can. What was the other one? Gold, iron. And I just don't see iron ingots. There we go. Now we should be able to go back to extended crafting. And we should get a tier 4 right there. Alright, so now we can take this, pop that down there. And this is where it gets tricky, I think. We're going to have to click this, click that. And we're missing diamonds, so we need those diamonds. We should be able to then just shift it all in. I grab a stack of diamonds. There we go. And for my sanity, Let's add that to the favorites list. Move those items in. Boom. We get 4 of those. All right. Now, if we do this again, hold down shift, we should be able to get 24. Perfect. Got more of those used in one single sitting. Now, there's more. To make this one, right here, where is it at? We need all these different gears plus that. And then we need to make a uranite shard, which, now that I'm looking at this, I might have I forgot something. Yeah, all right. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I have the uranite one, but that's not the, like, I saw a different recipe earlier. Let's see here, let's do recipe. No, usage. Yeah, there was a definite, oh yeah, wait, yeah, you gotta look these up a different way because it's so dumb. Uranite, budding one, right? You need the budding, there we go, that. So this one is made with the uranium in this with that. All right, so that's what I was thinking. So we need that plus some of these. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I actually pre-made these ones, so I might have to what? That's it. Does this thing need power? Is that kind of like what the... No, it doesn't take that power. This is 60 seconds, but... I don't know, am I missing like something else for this machine? What is this called? Extended crafting? Okay, we got the auto crafter, alternator. I don't know. Let's make one of these. I would assume that there's like more to it than Alright, that's doing something now. Alright, that's cooking. Alright, okay. So just make more of these, I guess. I can't tell if that like speeds it up or not, but it works. Alright, so while that's actually we need this. We need to go set this over there. Now that I think about it, we can put these back in there. And we can just throw all of that in there. And then we're going to go put this down so it starts cooking while we're doing the rest of the stuff. I totally forgot about making this one. It's the only one that's like this, right? So now, do I have like 2 of these? So that's uranium. That's emerald. That's uranium. Okay, we don't need 2 uranium, so. There we go. Easier than I thought it would be. And we can just throw that back in there. And that should now be generating me the crystals I need for the next part. So, let's go over here. And now we can grab all the gear shards, right? So we're gonna need this one, this, not that one, this one, this one, this one, iron, I believe, and uranium. I think we need all those ones, right? And then right here, it's gonna take 60 seconds. And there we go. We can make 24 of those over time. All right, so let me see if I can make some of these more of these alternator things to speed this up. I can't tell if that is what the purpose of that is or not, but definitely does something. I truly don't know. Yeah, those are gonna take a few minutes. Now, I guess we could make more of the crystalline to kind of speed that up, but I think we're good right now. I think this is only gonna be one at a time, so this might take a little while. Come on. Yeah, it's one at a time, but there we go. We got the first one. And we completed a quest. I didn't even know there was one for that. I might be able to speed this up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, perfect. I have, what, 47 hours of accumulated time. Alright, so where did that one go? Basic armor? Oh, basic armor. That's where we get that quest. There we go. Public spawners. We made a campfire, got something there. Mystical agriculture. Harvester. Alright, whatever. Don't even remember making that. There's something else here too. Oh, we made another star seed a long time ago. I don't know. It's curious. I still got that. And then the bees, what do we got here? We got all the bee stuff. More honey. And productive farming. This is a new quest they added in 1.5. I just upgraded. And so it's got all kinds of stuff in it. Flowers, dirt, and more honey. so there's a lot to this. I just don't know what it's actually used for. So I got that. All right, that's done. We made the ingot. That was my goal for today. But what else can we do? What can we do with this stuff? I guess that's the next question. Advanced pattern provider of vibranium plate. Upgrade. Infinity magenta dye. I started seeing these infinity AE2 things, and so I've been trying to see what I can make of those, but they all require beating the end, so it doesn't look like there is much that I can really do with these at the moment, except maybe upgrade to some AE2 stuff. Looks to be about it, right? I guess I could make vibranium's legs from this, but it seems to be kind of a process there. Pattern provider. Yeah, so we'll just throw those in there for now. Alright, and throw that bee cage in there with that. Now, we got that done, so that's done. I'm gonna have to like spend some time figuring out how to automate this ultimate crafting table stuff, because I have no idea right now. But let's see here. The end game. Oh, that's a new one. I don't remember seeing that. Okay. Creative armor is what this pretty much is. Alright, well, that's a long time away. Let's see here. Finished all of that. Let's look at the quest that I had. Okay, we did that, 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 we did that. All of those. Let's do this evaporation block thing. I was gonna start doing it last episode, but I decided not to. So the problem we ran into right away was we did not have bronze. And I was looking through here trying to figure out the best way to get bronze, and then I found this recipe right here with the infuser. So let's do that one and infuse copper into bronze. Infuse. It doesn't look like I have one. Let's make 10 of those just in case. We're gonna be scaling this stuff up, definitely. So we grab that. We can throw all that back in there. Let's go back to our factory down below. There we go. This is quite a complex setup here. Throw that there, and we need some power for it. Let's bring that down there. Let's grab our. We're gonna need a few things. So we need an export, an import, and a pattern provider, and then we're gonna need some cables, which are right here. So just kind of wire this up real quick. And I think we're going to want to do it like that. Now, so the export goes on top, right? And then right here, we're going to do enriched 10N. Enriched 10 right here. That can go in automatically. And we need some accelerators. So let's grab those. Throw those in there. So this immediately should... Once we switch this over here to extra, like that, and we're gonna need a crafting card. That's a capacity card. There's a crafting card right there. Last slot. Now that should start crafting those. Over time, it'll take a second or two for those all get kind of picked up. We're gonna want these tier installers. Get this thing upgraded to ultimate tier or whatever. There we go, and that's good. Now we're going to take the output and put that on the bottom, and we're going to put a import bus on the bottom to catch that input. There we go, and then put some more acceleration cards there also. Now let's double check that I did all of this right. Enriched 10 and a crafting. Let me see here. Usage or recipe on that. It's 10 dust. Let's take a look and see where are we doing 10 dust at here. 10 dust is in there, which I'm seeing 10 dust be processed there every once in a while. So that should be. It's going. All right, it's working. It's just that the color right there is hard to see. All right, so we got that going in there now. Now let's go back to the bronze here and make sure we're doing this right. So to get bronze, we're gonna do the infuser. We're gonna take in through the pattern provider is gonna do 3 copper to 1 bronze. All right. So we're going to put that pattern provider right there, go right to our terminal, pattern encoder, and we're going to encode that right there and get rid of the 10 so we don't actually send 10 with it. Now we could, but I'm not storing any of that stuff in this setup. So now we can go bronze. Right there, we do have some bronze in here because I am destroying all the bronze stuff that comes through from other stuff. I just want to make sure this works, so let's get this out of here. 1000, there we go. And 136 is the number there. We can throw all this back in there. Yeah, that's working perfectly, and it is being imported correctly. Awesome. All right. Oh gosh, that worked. Let's see here. Let's go to this one, to the pattern, and now I think we have everything. Yes, we do, to make that object. Now we need everything here to make that object, which is just those, right? And then the valve is just more of those. Perfect. So now we can put these into here somewhere. There's some pattern providers like so. Some of these are accelerated, some of them are not. That's the reason why they're all split up. So we go here to hammackj, Actually, before we do that, let's go back to the mechanism quest line. And this looks to be like a multi-block, but it wants us to make 33 of them in one of those other things, so we're going to want to do it that way so we get credit for it. So let's make 40 of them. Why not? And then we need one of these controller blocks. So we get that. We got that. Let's grab this one. Now that should have gotten us through there. So we got the pump, that, and we need some of these things. Thermal. Right there. So we need, I think it was like 3 of these. And that should be everything. Perfect. We did finish that quest. So this will give us the ability to make, let's see, hydrogen chlorine. So obviously we'll need chlorine. All right, we're going to feed water into this thing to get sodium. And then we'll need the sodium for something else. We'll need another electrolyte separator for the output of that. All right, so that looks good. Now, I don't really want to build it right there. I don't really want to build it right there either. Where do I want to put this thing? Did I build a layer on the bottom of this? No, I didn't. So I feel like this is going to be a pain in the ass once we build it. We're not going to be able to remove it. I guess right here is fine. So what the hell does this thing look like? It looks like some kind of lock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 100% sure the exact layout this thing requires. Let's put the controller right there, right? I don't know if this needs a top, so we'll figure that out here momentarily. All right, we got that. Now right here, let's put a valve. And then on the same side over here, let's put another one. All right, looks like it's gonna require probably like a floor, right? And let's try this. And we're gonna need more of these blocks. I can make 100 of them. I don't know. I don't even care. And there we go. That should be there. Nope. All right, we don't have enough to make the multi-block yet. So let's... Curious how this is actually going to turn out. Let's make this one more higher, right? And then kind of like this. Oh my gosh. All right, let me look at this picture. I mean, that picture is not really telling me much, if anything. I'm not really seeing... I got the input, the output. Is there a mechanism book? I don't see a book. There's gotta be. Wait, click that. No. All it shows is that. So if we bring in water, right? So over here, if we bring in water, so let's do this. Let's get. Where is it at here? Cables plus let's export. So let's like do this, that, and then we're going to. Can I just put it there? Perfect. Do that, and then we're going to click on that. All right, that's going to export water. Let's go underneath and connect that to something. Oh, that's closer over there. We're gonna need more cables though. Let's grab those, make 200 more, please. I go through these cables a lot. Just wiring everything together here. There we go. All right, that should be connected now. Water should be flowing to this, but it's still not. I mean, it obviously probably needs power, right? Like that's should be something I should have thought of immediately. That's a valve. That's a controller. I mean, let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's get rid of this whole wall. Maybe I made it too big. Maybe it's not like a multi-block. And I probably made it too high, right? Okay, that's smaller. Can we just fill this hole in? Alright. And then, alright, the controller, I have it right there. So this, let's get rid of all this. Maybe it's too high. I don't know. I'm just gonna try to make the image that I see. And then let's fill this in, plus that. I mean, that looks like it. I mean, that looks like it. Exactly. I feel like it needs power somewhere, but maybe these blocks have to be blocks also. Let's clear all this out. I mean, this is kind of making it bigger, but yeah, that's configured now. Let's see if put this so I don't fall through the cracks here. Nope, that didn't turn it on. Well, I'm stumped. All right, so I googled it. Apparently, it's a solar plant, and requires solar panels in these 4 corners. So here we are. So let's see here. We should have already made them. So mech solar. There we go. Advanced solar generator. 1, 2. Why do we not have a recipe for that? Oh, that's going to be absolutely tedious to make. All right, let's do it this way. There's the pattern. Then we're going to want these ones. And then the solar panels. All right, that should let us craft at least 2 more of those. Yeah, the Feed the Beast wiki had everything I needed to see that. I'm surprised there's no like in-game way to see that, but here we are. There might be a way, like there might be a book that I'm not smart enough to understand. There we go, 2 more of those. All right, I don't know if it's gonna work since I am literally underground, but I don't know if it's gonna work at all, actually. Maybe it needs to be out there, so let's do that. Let's just take all this. That's everything. All right, let's go somewhere out here. Let's do it over here. All right, like right here should be fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I think this is the way to do it. I don't know. Put that one there. And then it was like this, right? With a valve like right here. Of course I put the wrong block in, right? There's one there and then one here. And then we need the controller. I think it was 2 more blocks there. And then solar. All right. It's doing something. It's not turning on. All right, there is no spots here, right? So this is empty. There we go. That's what we're putting a roof on, and that was causing the issue. There we go. All right, so let's put that there. Hopefully we got more cables. There we go. We got 200 cables. We're gonna probably need those to get anything near here. All right, and then I have an export bus right there, right? Take that. We're gonna grab. I think water goes in like that, and then we're hovering. So let's go underneath here. And okay, we can go over there. That's not too far, actually. Probably hook the this thing here up to it. All right, that should should be connected now. I love disabling channels because I don't have to think about it. So, all right, water's going in. It's just not going in very fast. So, you know what that means? Acceleration cards. Excel, Schwank, and Twilight. Ooh, there we go. And we're now full on brine. Now, we can take that brine, right, and we can put that into a... That is a liquid, so we should be able to take that out and put it into a tank here. Let's make a jumbo tank. And then we should have a liquid pipe of some sort. Pressurized tube. Chemicals. That's not what we want. Let's see here. Let's look in at mech here. And okay, we got pressurized tube, which is chemicals. We don't want that one. We want the mechanical pipe. So we should already have. There we go. Ultimate mechanical pipes. And theoretically, it's going to connect to this. And then we're going to use this as like a buffer. No, it doesn't connect. It doesn't connect to that either. Oh, those are the power ones. Never mind. All right. Those connected though. But we're going to need our wand to pull out of there. Now the brine is going to fill up this jumbo bucket. All right. So God, that was a lot of work. Now throw that brine into an electrolyte separator to get sodium and chlorine. Sodium is helpful for the fission reactor, but it's not useful right now. So we can now take this machine and I don't like it right there. So what we're going to do... Where's my power cable? Let's do this, since we're going to probably want to come up from bottom anyway on power. Let's just do it like that. And then we can put this right there. And then we can take this tube like that. Oh, okay, oh, we don't want that one. Break that connection. Really? I can't. There we go. Pull that. That goes in. All right, that's already processing right here somehow. Somehow there's power to this contraption. But what we're going to do is actually power it with a point. I already got one down here, so there we go. Go right here, and we'll just put it... I'm slightly confused that there is no hole. I guess I double layered this side. I have no idea what I was doing. Alright, that's online. Excellent. Now you can make this bigger. It just has to be this size and then a 4x4 at the top, right? Now we get chlorine and sodium. Gosh. Now, what do we want to do with those? Are these both liquids? It says millibuckets for each of these, so let's get those out of there. So that's a chemical tank. We want a fluid tank. All right, the basic fluid tank. We want to make patterns for this because we're going to need a few of these. So basic fluid tank, advanced fluid tank, Elite. And ultimate. And I think that one is creative, so we can't make that one. So we just throw these in here, and we should be able to make a tank to send these two liquids to, which should make sense. We're gonna make 2, 3, 4 of these. I think it's gonna be the right number. All right, so the first one, let's do it. So can we go up top? Can we pull off the top here? Like that, right? And then all right, so that works. And we want sodium to be the thing. So output 1. So energy, chemicals, fluids, output. All right, I can't take it out the top, can I? It says millibuckets, so let me see here. Chemicals, all right, top, output 1. So that should... Okay, I guess I need a chemical one for that. I would not have thought that, because that should be liquid sodium, right? Theoretically, right? Let me... Where's my tubes? There's the mechanical pipes. There was a tube. All right, can I put a tube there? All right, the tube goes there. Does it go into a chemical tank? That is the question. Come on. In that one. All right, so this one, I put that there. All right, it is a chemical. All right, so that sodium is coming out. All right, I would have thought it was a liquid, but you know, I'm not a rocket scientist. All right, so we got that going. That goes up there, and then what we'll do is we'll dump the excess, right? So we'll get this, you know, 8 million whatever buckets or whatever the hell that becomes into that. All right, now we're gonna use another tube. We're gonna put it right here, and we're gonna need another chemical tank. This one. My chlorine is just filling that up. There we go. Now we'll put this one right here, which looks to be working. So let's put the indicator like that so we know it's coming out when we look at it. Okay, so we have the chlorine. Now we need to feed some water into another one. Oh god. Let's see here. So feed water into an electrolyte separator like a tier 1 to get hydrogen and oxygen. This time we need to keep the hydrogen. Okay. If I was smart, I would have done it over there, wouldn't I have? I mean, I could build a pipe. I could build a pipe that goes all the way from here to there. Where is my... Okay, it would be right from here. I mean, that's not that far. Where am I dumping this stuff out at? Okay, I could do this. So we can take all this hydrogen and we'll let's do that. That way we're not like wasting, you know, we're creating it all, right? But we don't have to waste it. Wait. This is the wrong tubes, right? That is a chemical tank. Yeah, oxygen. So this is all going to come out. So if we go here and then put chemicals, top is going to be output 1, right? And then that should all be full of hydrogen. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I can just change all of these to chemicals output 1. Chemicals output 1. Like so. Perfect. This is gonna work. This is gonna work out. Put that one there too. And then side configuration, chemicals output 1. Now all those are going to go into that. Now what we'll do is here is we'll put another one up like that. We have gaseous brine in that one. That's not what we want. Whereas, did we make another one? All right, let's make 10 of these because I feel like I'm going to need more. Now, this is going to be a long cable. But the cool thing about the mechanism cables is they all store massive amounts, especially these ultimate, right? Like, it looks like there's 2 million millibuckets in here. So I think that'll work out. Now, if I do that, let's get rid of whatever this block is. And I just pop this down right there. Now all of that hydrogen is now inside of that. And we can start building a cable over to there. All right, we're going to use pressurized tubes, so. Should be quick and easy. And probably less effort than I really care to do. All right, now it needs to go right over there. So let's go out. Till we're like right under here, right? And then we'll go just straight up and then bring it around the bottom. And let me see where I need to actually bring this up to. We can bring this one right in here. So that's going to come in there. We're going to have a... Actually, what are we going to have here? So we're going to have a chemical infuser or whatever that one is. All right, so let's make our chemical infuser real quick. Infuser, chemical injection. Yeah, that's it. Let's make that. Purification chamber. All right, chemical injection. Now, let's just put it off one right here. So then we get the extra storage from this pipe here, which should, yeah, that's full of chlorine. So chemical input. All right, that's coming in. Okay, what the hell are we doing here? What are we injecting chlorine into? I feel like I missed a step here. All right, feed the water into that, gives hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, we're bringing that up here. Combine the hydrogen and the chlorine to create hydrogen chlorine. All right, is that even the right machine? Chemical injector. Chemical injection chamber. All right, it's the right one. So it looks to me what it is. I don't know. So we're gonna bring that one right up that way, right? So let's fix that. We'll bring that tube right up the bottom here. So nope. That's not what we want there. There's chlorine in all these tubes, damn it. Alright, I should get rid of the chlorine. Alright, it's perfectly empty. Now we need more tubes. Oh my gosh. Let's make 200 more of those, and that's why I do everything 100% with the recipes. So I can just kick them off and come back to them when I need them. Jeez. We should be able to come over here now. I'll clean up the excess wire here in a second. Oh my god, I was off by one. I don't care. I truly don't care right now. I'm gonna eventually have like factory there, right? Okay, so that should be doing stuff, but it's not doing anything. Alright, so the bottom is input. Okay, let's look at this recipe again. Pipe that hydrogen chlorine. Oh, we need a what? There's a chemical fusion. All right, so this screw that machine. It's not the right. Chemical infuser. This thing, that's what we needed. I knew it was kind of weird. Now we should be able to put this chemical infuser right there. And so it's got oxygen. What? Where the hell did I get oxygen from? Oxygen, what? Where the hell did you get oxygen from? That's chlorine. Oxygen. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. All right. Items. So this is going to be input there. Can we do input there? How can I dump all this that's in here, because I have no idea where I got oxygen from. chlorine. Alright, I guess we make some changes here. So let's do this. Like that, and then we can put I don't know why there's oxygen in this thing. How do I clear it? Let me put this thing on the ground because I have no idea why it has anything in it. So let's get a chemical tank. I thought we made 10 of those things. Where are they at here? Okay, they're perfect. Let's put that right there. That's not coming out. Why? Side configuration, output. Totally unknown. Okay, so this is full of chlorine. This is... I don't know why the chlorine is not going inside there. That's a little weird. Here, let me do this. All right, now that's filling with chlorine. That's brine, sodium. This has nothing in it. Did I miss a connection here? That should be hydrogen. All right, so that hydrogen is not coming out of there. So we go right here. That's still not sucking it out. All right. Nope. All right, this thing has got side configurations too. All right, you're gonna put the output on top, which should, yeah, there we go. We got our, all right, that's probably why we had oxygen in there, because it was nothing to do. All right, let's try it. Let's make another chemical infuser. That one doesn't seem to be blinking out. All right, we got our chemical infuser. Like so. All right, now we have that. Let's see. I feel like I need to make this go over another. Let's go down one more. So if we go over one and then up, we need one more. Definitely complicated. So bring that and throw that there. So if we put the chemical infuser there, and then we take this tube like so, bring it right there and down like that. And then configure the output on this to be right here as output. We should see chlorine go in here, and we have gaseous brine. What the fuck? Hydrogen, okay, that's chlorine. Alright, what am I doing here? Sulfuric acid. Okay, chlorine. Do they really have to be on the right side to do that? Can I shift this whole machine around? Because we got chlorine coming in, which should not be gaseous brine. Like, I'm mixing the chemicals. They should be right. That's true. Let's destroy that. And let's do it this way. Where's my power cable? Let's put it right there. So I have something to place this on, right? It's not coming out. Can I purge you? Purge. I feel like this is a little bit of a joke. All right, let's put that one down too. And let's make a third chemical infuser. Alright, we'll try it again. We'll place it down. I guess it has to be the very specific placement, right? Like right there. Hydrogen chloride. Alright, that's perfect. That's what we wanted. So we can bring that power cable over. And that's going to work. Alright, now we can get rid of this because it's not doing anything. Alright, the machine just had to be flipped around. These, now, what do we do with the hydrogen chloride? Pipe that into a chemical injection chamber to inject ores to get shards. Ore blocks will get 4 shards, while ore will get 3. Alright. Jeez, this seems like more work than it's really worth, honestly. Alright. Where's my chemical injection chamber? That's the infuser. Alright, here's the chemical injection chamber. Let's get rid of these things on us. So we don't need those, don't need that. Now, bring the power out here. Let's go down a little bit. And we'll put this one right there. Now this fluid or chemical needs to come out and come back into here. So let's get a pipe. Where am I going to get this without totally screwing myself over here? That's not what I wanted, but should be able to get rid of that. There we go. And then if we put a tank on top, and then we go into this one, and then chemicals output on output. There we go. We have chemical hydrogen chlorine. All right, and then we can take this one over here, bring it down into this one. We have to set the chemicals. I guess that's the back of it. Output. So we got hydrogen chlorine going into this via that, right? Now we can take, we just get rid of those. We need to bring in the ore shards. So let me see here. This gets a little complicated. So one ore block would give us 4 ore shards. So let's get rid of some of this stuff out of our bag here. Kind of think about this now. We're gonna probably want our A2 to bring this stuff in. Like so. And bring that down there. So we're gonna have a import bus right here. And then a pattern provider right there. Now we'll do iron, I guess, as our test one as I try to figure this out. So let's do iron shard. There we go. So it's this one right here, not that one. They should be the same, but we have the hydrogen chlorine. Now, oh God, do we have to put salt in this thing too? What? All right, what? Let's do a little test real. I think we have iron ore, right? Here, make 1,000. Nonsense. It's probably gonna be actually faster to do it this way. All right, so if we click on this and we just throw that in there, that should generate what we want, right? All right, that's generating shards. All right, perfect. So we want the output to be the bottom. Let's get some upgrades going here so we can speed this process up a little bit. Basic tier. We're gonna need some mufflers too, jeez. Installer. Basic tier, let's make 20 of those. So we probably have enough. Elite. Advanced, elite, ultimate. Can we upgrade this one? No. What about this one? No. Let's see here, let's get the mufflers. Now, if I do this right, I shouldn't like lose anything. That I've already done, right? They should be kind of working together. So let's upgrade that, upgrade that. Oh, perfect. I made a lot more. So let's see here. Let's make sure we got enough in this. Does this? It doesn't speed up, does it? That doesn't either. Now it's silent. All right, so that will now generate clumps from all that stuff. Let's just throw that in there. Why is that so slow? Oh, okay, the hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen chloride is kind of slow to make. that's upgraded. So what are we looking at here? Okay, that's just gonna be a process that we're gonna have to deal with, I think. Maybe speed that up over time. Now, one thing we can do to speed some of this up is acceleration cards in the output here. Throw that in there. And we should make sure that the output is, output goes items. I don't know why those aren't coming out, but... Oh, you know why? That's not even connected to anything, is it? Yeah, I didn't finish that. Alright, where can we... There's one right over there. Perfect. It's hilarious. I don't even know what I was going to use this area for, but now it's this. Come on, just throwing cables down. There we go, that's connected. Some extra cables here and there. I just don't really need to care about that right now. All right, that's working perfectly. All right, so now we need to put the pattern in for this thing. So let's go here and recipe this, which is going to be this one right here. Pattern provider, recipe. All right, so iron ore comes out as 4 of those. Okay. And we can put that one right there. Perfect. So that will, should read that. The use of this now goes into the purification chamber. We have to go down here. There is that chicken. There's a cow. What? All right. Now we're gonna have to make some more changes down here. What is that? I think we can get rid of all that stuff. Just to have a little bit more room, jeez. All right, all this can go in there. Now, I gotta figure out where these are getting created at. Because we have this shard now, and the shard has to be... All right, wait. I got this. So, usage of the ore. What was that one before? So... We're doing ore. Okay, here. So, it's the purification chamber. We need to take that recipe out. Just gotta find out what the purification chamber is. Infusing factory? Is it this one? No. Whatever takes the iron ore. That's dirty dust. That's iron dust. I think it's one of these ones down here, right? There we go. So this takes iron ore and gives me a clump. We can take that one out, because that's no longer going to be the valid recipe. So that's that. So now do recipe on this, which is the purification chamber for the shard, which is the ultimate purifying factory. So we can take that one shard and do that with the oxygen. Get rid of that. Oh my god, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Purifying factory, pop that back in there, and that should work. Let's test it. Iron, let's make 1,000 iron. All right, so it's going to craft 1,000 ingots. It's going to make 1,000 clumps, 1,000 shards, 1,000 dust, 1,000 dirty dust, from 250 of the ore, right? That should work. Now, if we look here at this recipe, it seems to be working. All right. Albeit it's probably slow. Let me see here. That's looking... 10 is going crazy. That's going crazy. All right, that's working. Let's go up here. And yeah, that's going to be the bottleneck here. So what is our bottleneck? This brine creation. Is that the total bottleneck though? Yeah. Okay. So let's scale this brine creation up. Let's see here. What was this stuff called? Evap? There we go. We want this stuff. Where? There should be more than that. I throw it in here. Oh, you know, that's why. So we want this evaporation block. Let's make it 300 of this. And then we can sort by stored and craftable. Grab those while the rest of those are crafting. Now let's take out this. This is going to stop the whole process, but I think it'll be fine for right now. Can I just H? There we go. Now we can go up 18 blocks, I believe, with this thing. Where 18 blocks is, I don't know. So we'll find out when it doesn't do a multi-block completion at the top here. Can't remember how tall my other thing over there is. Now this might, in theory, speed this up. I don't know. I might need just to make multiples. In fact, I think we'll make this the last tier here. So we need to go to the middle ones. Like that, and then grab the power. Like that. That should that should work, right? All right, it's producing at a rate, I don't know. I mean, that seems to be going, and that'll create that, and that is that, right? I'm sure we could have like made these a little bit tighter, but I think it's fine. Ooh, that is just not producing anything, is it? Totally backed up there. And it doesn't seem, it does not seem like a good processing method, right? Like it's very prone to extreme bottlenecks there, I think. Now, maybe this next tier, chemicals, all right, this one uses sulfuric acid, chemical infuser, and then, oh, it still uses brine. I mean, the brine's still there, so it looks like there's more. There's more to it. We're gonna do that another day, though. I think. I mean, that's just obnoxious looking. I mean, I guess I could build another one. Because there is not enough brine to keep this thing going here. But yeah, there we go. I think, I think that's pretty much today. Today in a nutshell right there. This giant ass thing. But all right, we got a lot done in actuality, right? We got tier 3 or doubling. Doesn't feel much faster at the moment. Now, what I'm going to do is I will try to take this brine and triple it, quadruple it, whatever it takes to speed it up. And then from there, this should be a lot better. Like it's just, I think it's literally just making more of these brine factory things. And then we'll go from there. But thank you very much for watching. Please have a fantastic day.